Google is a failure of a company. Now, this may seem like a strange statement at first. If Google's aim was just to make loads of money, well, tobacco companies do that. Lots of companies make money. But if you listen to the sanctimonious bullshit coming out of virtually all tech startups, and you can see this on the great Mike Judge TV show, Silicon Valley, where lots of increasingly obscure tech companies get on stage and say, our aim is to make the world a better place through utilizing inner middleware in farming and resource management systems, overview, overwatches, things like that. Everyone with a startup wants to make the world a better place. Well, Google is definitely one of these sanctimonious companies, or it was. Its tagline used to be "Don't be evil." It removed that tagline. Just like a famous, as an aside, there's a famous Facebook group called "I Have Never Had Sex with a Goat." If you ever leave that group, your status on Facebook will be, "Johnny left the group, I've never had sex with a goat." We know what you did last night, Johnny. Anyway, you can't have a tagline of "Don't be evil" and then change it, because people are going to think you're evil. But I think it's quite apt in this case. Google's stated aim, or mission statement, is to organise the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Okay. It doesn't say to rewrite history. It doesn't say to push an extreme left-wing agenda, does it? That's not in the mission statement. If you search Google now and you type men space can space, it says things like "get pregnant." That's just objectively false. In the past, I'm not sure if this is still the case, you look up famous physicists, loads of black men come up. They're not famous physicists. That's not reality. You're not organising the world's information. You're fabricating the world's information. That's rather different, isn't it? And you're fabricating the world's information based on an extremist ideology. So if your aim is to organise the world's information, Google's failed. Google is a failure. Larry Page and Sergey Brin are failures. They have tried to do something. They made fuckloads of money, but they've created an evil company that fabricates information and spreads false propaganda to the masses. And I think they know this, and they, of course, like most corporations, they let the wokeists in. They let the cancer of intersectionality into their company, and now they can't fucking get rid of it. So they've got loads of useless fucks in their company, draining the resources out that coders enable them to make, people doing the real work. And the cancer just grows. And this will be what makes the company go bust in the end. And really, what is Google? It's just a big ad tech company. So if Google's aim was to make the world a better place, or to organise the world's information, or to not be evil, it's failed in every count. It is evil. It's fabricating the world's information. And it's making the world a significantly worse place. I think James Damore was a big warning sign of just the evil, the extremism happening in the company, when you can't even cite scientifically proven literature on a subject without getting fired. And of course, the James Damore memo, if you don't know, was Google was asking why there's more men, Asian and white men, as coders in the company, and very few other groups. He just cited the scientific literature, psychological literature on this subject, which says men and women are just biologically and innately different. It's not necessarily due to sexism. Fired. We can't have you citing science, even though they asked for feedback. Google also, of course, owns YouTube. YouTube is now massively censoring anyone who's not extreme left-wing. They are punishing through not allowing people to take donations on their channel who's not extreme left-wing or left-wing. there's one argument, and of course they've had their ads removed. There's one argument for removing ads on slightly controversial content that's not left or extreme left wing. What's the fucking argument for stopping viewers of a channel donating to it? This is just evil. Again, this is again not organizing the world's information. This is biasing the world's information. This is punishing information which doesn't fit your extreme, scientifically wrong, morally wrong, dangerous extremist viewpoint. But this is what evil is. This is what Google is now. Google and YouTube, they're evil companies. They are companies that, if left unchecked now, will bring us to 1984. There are already aspects of 1984 in what they're doing. They are purposely spreading misinformation to push an ideology. Men cannot have babies. And when you look up CEOs, pictures of CEOs, loads of women come up. Not men. That's not organising the world's information. That's social engineering. Again, that's not in their mission statement. Organising the world's information, that's a neutral statement. A more accurate mission statement for Google may be to penalise information that doesn't support an intersectional far left-wing agenda, to demonetize and remove revenue from anyone politically to the right of Stalin, to punish and remove channels of people who disagree with the extreme left-wing bigotry within Google. These could all be straplines, mission statements of Google. To demonize opinions and channels of people who are right-wing. Could be another mission statement of Google. The problem is, tech companies are extremists, and they don't know it because they're in this ridiculous extreme bubble that's just not true. They seem a lot. The left thinks of itself as scientific. It's not scientific. It's based on bullshit. Almost nothing the extreme left, which is now just the left as we know, almost nothing it believes now is actually real. It's all made up bullshit. And it's pushed by the extreme leftists at tech companies. Children should not be transitioning. Somebody who's not old enough to buy a beer shouldn't be making a decision to get their dick chopped off. That's just a bad idea. Yet, tech companies are pushing. This is extreme ideology. This isn't normal stuff. Google is evil. Google is a failure. Google has comprehensively failed at everything it's done, apart from making money. If Google had started out and said, what do we want to do? We just want to make fuckloads of money and we don't care how we do it. If that was their strapline, if that was their mission statement, fine. That's not their mission statement. It's never been their mission statement, and they've always implied they want to do something moral, just like the fucking sanctimonious twats running most Silicon Valley companies. We want to be moral. We're better than you. We want to help the world. You're not fucking helping anyone. You're just printing money with an ad tech company. Google is a failure. Sergey Brin is a failure. Larry Page are failures. They're all failures. They have not achieved anything they set out to achieve. And this is why they've left the company, which is, I'm sure, an intolerable place to work at this point. Very much like 1984. And they're not at the stage where they're putting rats in cages on people's heads, but I don't think that's far off. What I don't think is far off is, for example, all the white men at the company having to say a penance every morning, a 20-minute shout of shame by all the white men, have to stand in front of the rest of the company and say, I am a white male. I am responsible for all badness that has ever happened in the world. I must repent. I am a white male, etc. This is the kind of shit we can expect to be happening in the near future. This isn't an exaggeration. White men are already a demonized group. They're already scum. They're already taught they're scum in unconscious bias training. They're already fired for questioning the scientifically wrong, incorrect extremism being pushed on people at companies like this. And Larry and Sergey were too big a cowards to try and fix this. They're fucking cowards, on top of starting One of the world's most evil, biggest failures of a company. They should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. What are they going to do about it now? How are they going to fix this? Because they've made this mess and they need to fix it.
The Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. Please leave a review on iTunes and like on YouTube. It's essential to spread the word. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com. Your support is greatly appreciated.